And welcome to La Rosa Reads. Today I am ready to unveil with all of you my first 5-star read of 2023. Let's talk books. You guys, here we are. And my first 5-star read happened for me in February. January, while it was a solid reading month, I just could not give a book 5 stars. There were some that were really close, such as Black Cake, but I found my gem, and it is Pride and Protest, baby, by Nikki Payne. Oh my Lord. I just feel like what's up with February, y'all? Because last year, my first 5-star read happened in February too. Who knows? Who cares? All I care about today is talking to you about this gem. Oh my gosh. So, where do I begin? Pride and Protest is a modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. So for all of you Jane Austen fans, I don't know how you're going to feel about this book. I could see some of you really enjoying this, getting a kick out of it. I can also see some of the devout, hardcore fans feeling very protective of the original and not really being fans of the directions that this retelling goes in. For me, I read Pride and Prejudice for the first time in the summer of 2022 for Jane Austen July. I fell in love with it. I feel like it's one of those books that I will come to appreciate if I were to reread it. I'm not typically a rereader, but I definitely want an annotated version and, discover things that I may have missed the first time around. Overall, however, it was a delightful experience. I am so grateful I read it. Reading Pride and Protest was interesting. So, from the looks of the cover, I thought between the cover and the title, oh my gosh, Pride and Protest, this is going to be deep. When we're talking about what I was assuming would be societal unrest around race relations. I had a feeling that our, main female character was going to be the one that's protesting, given the synopsis, because Darcy, our little hottie over here, is the new CEO of his parents' company, and he is about to establish, tear down and establish some kind of housing development or shopping center in inner city DC, where Lisa, but spelled Liza, she wants it pronounced Lisa, where Lisa and her family, the Bennets, live. Lisa doesn't like this. There was going to be a protest, and I thought it was going to be pretty heavy. I wasn't expecting the humor and the lightness of this book. So, whoa, that part blew my mind. The Bennets are nothing short of hilarious. There's Ladea, who is the young sister, really into makeup. She has this Instagram account where she's always doing these makeup tutorials. You have Janae, the older sister, the oldest, who is a wonderful mathematician, highly intelligent, also a former beauty queen. And then you have Maurice, the brother, who is seems like he doesn't really take life seriously, but you gotta give him more credit than he gets. And then there is Lisa. She is struggling. She got evicted from her apartment because they raised the cost of rent. Gentrification is running rampant in her borough. And so she's moved back into this tiny apartment with her siblings, her mom, Bev, and her granny. They are cramped in this apartment. She's also working at a radio station as a DJ. She has a degree in international studies and isn't really using it. Her slogan is the only DJ that gives a jam. And she finds her calling that's going to drive up audience listens and her Instagram following whenever Darcy's company, Pemberley, decides to basically continue this gentrification in her neighborhood. And so she's thinking, this is my time. I'm going to make some protest signs. I'm going to get my followers there. I'm going to look like I am woke and all about it, all about my neighborhood. From there, she and Dorsey there's definitely this enemies to lovers trope. Now, those of you who have read Pride and Prejudice, yeah, like, I feel like Jane Austen was like so brilliant and one of the original authors to write an enemy to lovers. They just have this immediate chemistry that's kind of funky because they don't really like each other, but they're attracted to each other, intrigued by each other. I'm not going to go into too many details of how their interactions unfold, what exactly those interactions look like. Just know it's a fun and hilarious time. There are hilarious lines, and the sexual tension between these two just builds and builds and builds. So I would say that is a striking difference from the original Pride and Prejudice and Pride and Protest. There is an almost immediate, instant attraction, physical attraction that both Dorsey and Lisa are trying to deny and put aside, but they just can't help themselves. So they have these interesting moments of brushing past each other, lightly touching each other. And so as you're reading, you're thinking, oh my Lord. Nikki Payne gives us little glimmers into some steam, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, if these little brushing up against each other scenes are like having me feel a little flushed, what is going to happen when these two actually connect? And oh my gosh, sister, Nikki Payne did that. I mean, she builds and builds and builds and builds and builds to a crescendo. And then the moment happens, and let me tell y'all something. It was a moment. Then the ending. There was the ending. Fun, exciting, just what you wanted. Like, it gave you exactly what you wanted for the ending. And I could not have been happier with this book. It's interesting that it is my first 5-star read because I wouldn't say it is a serious book. It does a nice balance of having humor, romance, theme, dives into the social issue of gentrification. There's some very light touches on race, with Dorsey being Filipino and adopted. So he is, there's some talk about transracial adoption, poverty. There's all of that there, but you're not to take everything so seriously. There's right when you're feeling a little bit like there's some kind of humorous moment, somebody says something funny, something hilarious happens, and I love Nikki Payne for that. Apparently, she's going to do a retelling of Sense and Sensibility, and I was not motivated to read Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, but now that I know Nikki Payne is, going to be retelling that story, I want to get my hands on it and get ready because Nikki Payne has become one of my favorite authors. Pride and Protest delivers. I loved every word. I did not want this story to end. I would love for you to give it a try if all that I shared with you makes you think, this is my vibe. If you don't feel like it's your vibe, don't waste your time. If you're kind of curious, I would say stretch yourself and go for it. You will not regret it. What is your 5-star read of 2023? Have you read it yet? If so, let me know by hopping over to the comments below and telling me all about it. You can also check out my first 5-star read of 2022 video right here. Check it out and let's keep talking some books, y'all. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.